1. One of the largest pyramids in the world is a Bass Pro Shops in Memphis, Tennessee. If you're not able to travel all the way to Egypt to see the Great Pyramids in Giza, then you might want to plan a trip to Memphis, Tennessee, to see the local Bass Pro Shops megastore. At 321 feet tall, with a 535,000 square foot interior, it's one of the largest pyramids in the world and features a hotel, an indoor swamp, an aquarium, a bowling alley, and the world's tallest freestanding elevator, which can take you to an observation deck. 2. Scientists once gave mice superhero-like night vision using nanoparticles. Fictional Marvel characters aren't the only beings with superhero-like powers. A few lucky mice were given the ability to see perfectly in the dark when scientists utilized nanoparticles that convert infrared light to visible light. The same method could be used to give humans the same night vision superpower sometime in the future. We'll just have to wait and see. 3. Extreme ironing is an actual sport. There are plenty of extreme sports out there if you happen to be an adrenaline junkie. From the classics like skydiving and surfing to newcomers like parkour and blobbing, aka human catapulting, there's truly something for everyone. But if you want to combine your love of cleaning with your love of getting wild, then perhaps you'd like to try extreme ironing, which was founded in 1997 and has been challenging competitors to press shirts in unexpected locations, like high up in trees, hanging over cliffs, or paddling whitewater rapids, for more than 2 decades. 4. A lifeboat drill was cancelled the morning of the Titanic tragedy. Other than the fact that it hit an iceberg and sank, a lot went wrong during the Titanic tragedy. But one of the most jaw-dropping facts about the incident is that, according to passenger Arthur Godfrey Buchan, who later recalled what had happened during his testimony at congressional hearings in Washington, a routine lifeboat drill was supposed to take place the morning of the disaster, but the crew never assembled and the drill was cancelled. 5. There's a Starbucks cup in every shot in the movie Fight Club. It's not quite true that there's a Starbucks on every single corner in every major city. But there does happen to be a Starbucks cup in every scene in the 1999 movie Fight Club starring Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, and Helena Bonham Carter. The cup's appearance was reportedly inspired by a line in the film, when Norton's character explains, "When deep space exploration ramps up, it'll be the corporations that name everything, the IBM Stellarsphere, the Microsoft Galaxy, Planet Starbucks." You can view all of the cups on this comprehensive Tumblr page. 6. Birds in Minnesota get drunk off of berries. In October 2018, the Gilbert, Minnesota Police Department issued a public notice about birds that appeared to be under the influence. It turns out that the airborne animals were apparently eating berries that had fermented due to early frost, which was making them tipsy. Unfortunately, this meant that the buzzed birds were acting confused and flying into windows. Hopefully, they were able to sleep it off. 7. Lady Liberty wears a size 879 shoe. It's no secret that the Statue of Liberty is a mighty monument. The copper section alone is 151 feet and 1 inch tall. But if Lady Liberty needed a new pair of sandals, it would take size 879 shoes to cover her massive feet. 8. It's illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland. Guinea pigs are social animals that prefer the companionship of another guinea pig. That's why it's illegal to own just one of the little critters in Switzerland. Thankfully, if one of your fuzzy pets passes away and you're not ready to commit to another, Switzerland also allows you to rent a guinea pig for your remaining pet. 9. Almost half the world's population watched both the 2010 and 2014 FIFA World Cup games. In 2010, the FIFA World Cup South Africa was shown in every country and territory on Earth, including Antarctica and the Arctic Circle, which meant that a record-breaking 3.2 billion people around the world watched the game in their homes, or 46.4% of the global population. 4 years later, FIFA World Cup Brazil drew the same staggering number of viewers. 10. There's a basketball court in the U.S. Supreme Court building. The highest court in the land is the name given to the basketball court that's located in the U.S. Supreme Court building. located on the top floor, and therefore higher than any other court in the building, which is how it got its name. The former storage room was turned into an exercise area for courthouse workers in the 1940s before nets were eventually installed. 11. There's a planet that's shaped like a potato. Not every celestial object has a shape that's as perfectly majestic as planet Earth. In fact, some of them are downright hilarious to look at. Take Haumea, for example. This dwarf planet is cool for a number of reasons. About the same size as Pluto, Haumea orbits the Sun beyond Neptune and has rings similar to Jupiter. But what makes this object even more interesting is that it's shaped like a potato. 12. There are 118 ridges on the side of a dime. There are also 119 ridges, which are called reeded edges, on the side of a quarter, 150 on the side of a $50, 198 on a dollar coin, and 133 on a Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. 13. Wombat feces is cube-shaped. Wombats produce around 80 to 100 pieces of excrement each night, and until recently no one knew why it was cube-shaped. But in 2018, researchers concluded that it's the wombat's intestines, which are made up of some stretchy and some stiff sections, that create the edges and the cubing during the digestive process. 14. Cheesemakers are studying if music can change the taste of cheese. Beat Wampfler, a Swiss cheesemaker, plays songs from bands like Led Zeppelin and A Tribe Called Quest during his cheese-producing process, and, with the help of students from the University of the Arts in Bern, he's studying to see if and how music can change the flavor of his Emmental cheese. Wampfler told AFP, "I am convinced that humidity, temperature, or nutrients are not the only things that influence taste. Sounds, ultrasounds, or music can also have physical effects." 15. It only takes 6 minutes for alcohol to affect your brain. Just one drink can quickly go to your head, whether you feel it or not. Researchers at Heidelberg University Hospital found that just 6 minutes after consuming alcohol, changes are already taking place in the brain. So even if you don't feel tipsy right away, you're definitely not totally sober either. 16. Daniel Radcliffe went through nearly 70 wands and 160 pairs of glasses during the making of the Harry Potter films. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the production team also made 40 versions of Salazar Slytherin's locket, 250 paintings for the marble staircase, 900 memory vials for the cabinet in Dumbledore's office, and 210,000 coins for the Gringotts Bank scene in the last 2 films alone. And for more on the wizard phenomenon, check out the 35 ways Harry Potter is still crazy relevant. 17. There are actually 2 Air Force Ones. Every vehicle needs maintenance to stay in tip-top shape, especially if it's expected to transport a country's leader around the world. So when Air Force One SAM 28,000 Boeing 747-200 plane is getting a tune-up, there's an identical SAM 29,000 standing by. One plane is always ready for the president's use whenever needed. 18. Strengths is the longest word in the English language with 1 vowel. With 9 letters and 8 of them being consonants, strengths is the longest word in the English language with only 1 vowel, according to the Guinness World Records. Which, on reflection, makes it a really weird-looking word. 19. It would cost $18.3 million to make a replica Darth Vader suit. There's no doubt that Darth Vader's getup is pretty snazzy in Star Wars, but according to Time, it's probably out of your budget. That's because it would cost $18.3 million to make a real-life replica of the suit that features a voice modifier, breathing apparatus, prosthetic limbs, and an augmented reality filter. 20. Shark attacks threaten the internet. If shark attacks give you the chills, you're not alone. And the people over at Google can sympathize thanks to the fact that they deal with shark attacks that threaten the internet. And this isn't a new problem. Back in 1987, the New York Times reported that was an issue with phone lines at the time due to the fact that sharks have shown an inexplicable taste for the new fiber optic cables that are being strung along the ocean floor linking the United States, Europe, and Japan. 21. Q is the only letter that doesn't appear in any US state name. What state do you live in? Does it have a Q in the name? We can guarantee that it doesn't because that's the only letter that doesn't appear in any US state name, from Alabama to Wyoming and everything in between. 22. You can get your eyeballs tattooed. If you've ever considered getting your entire body tattooed, be sure not to forget about your eyeballs. Hardcore body art fans have started inking their eyes all kinds of colors, from purple to green. But beware of the risks that come along with such an extreme modification. 23. 3 US presidents, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Jimmy Carter, have won Grammys. Jimmy Carter won 3 Grammy Awards in the Best Spoken Word Album category for Our Endangered Values, America's Moral Crisis in 2007, A Full Life, Reflections at 90 in 2016, and finally Faith, A Journey for All in 2019. In 2004, Bill Clinton won Best Spoken Word Album for My Life, just a year after he earned the Best Spoken Word Album for Children thanks to Prokofiev, Peter and the Wolf Beintus, Wolf Tracks. Barack Obama has won 2 Grammys, including Best Spoken Word Album in 2006 for The Dreams from My Father audiobook and another in 2008 when he took home the Best Spoken Word Album Grammy for the audiobook version of The Audacity of Hope. 24. There's a toilet museum. The Sulav International Museum of Toilets in New Delhi, India, features a rare collection of objects, detailing the historic evolution of toilets, from 2500 BCE to right up until today. Learn about the toilet systems of ancient societies, the elaborately decorated toilets of 18th and 19th century Europe, and even a toilet from Austria that's shaped like a lion so that you can feel like you're riding the wild beast while doing your business. 25. It's against the law to feed pigeons on the streets or sidewalks of San Francisco. You might think that throwing a little bread to the birds is a nice thing to do, but in San Francisco, it could get you into trouble. That's because it's illegal to feed pigeons in the streets or on the sidewalks of the California city. San Francisco's Public Works Department explains that there are dozens of reasons why you shouldn't feed our flying friends, but mainly, feeding pigeons harms our neighborhoods and also harms the birds.